Okay. Some of you have told me that you find this point of inverted conditionals difficult. So I want to tell you a little bit more. We are going to look at normal conditionals first, and then we are going to look at each type of inverted conditionals. So just as a revision, remember please that there are different types of conditionals. So we know type 0, 1, 2, type 3, and mixed conditionals. Okay, let's concentrate on type 1 now. Type 1 is a sentence that, like all conditional sentences, has two clauses. One is the principal clause and the other one is the condition. We can also call the conditional clause and the result clause. So in type 1, example 1, if you study, you will pass the exam. If you study is the conditional clause because it has the if, and you will pass the exam is the principal clause or the result. So with this condition, if you study, this is the result. You will pass the exam. Basically, in this conditional type 1, what I am doing is talking about something probable that is going to happen in the future. So probable and future. The if part, the if clause, will have a present tense, typically the simple present, but it is also possible to find the present continuous or present perfect. So any of them but present. Now the result clause in type 1 will be most commonly the future, you will pass the exam, but it can also be the imperative. For example, in number 2, if he doesn't call you, simple present, tell me immediately, imperative, an order. And of course, instead of the will, you can also have the modals can, must, might, or may. Remember that modals in general are either present or future. I can go now and I can go tomorrow is the same. The modals are for both present and future, the simple modal like this. So this is a revision of type 1 conditional sentences. And now let's look at the inverted type 1, okay? So in the inverted type 1, and what I do is the following. This is an example of normal type 1. If you need more information, simple present, contact our unit in Green City, imperative. So what do I do to make it more formal, more emphatic, but particularly more formal? Well, I omit the if. The if disappears. In the inverted conditionals, there is no if, okay? And as they are inverted, we have to put the subject, in this case, you, after the auxiliary. Remember that in inversion of order, the order of the words looks like a question, okay? Like auxiliary and subject. Do you, have you? Well, that is the inverted order. In the case of conditionals type 1, I need to make an inversion with should. So I omit the if, bye-bye if, and the should comes after the, before the subject. So should you need. Instead of if you need, should you need. And that's it. We don't have to do anything else. So if you need more information, contact our unit in Green City. Should you need more information, contact our unit in Green City. You see, nothing else. This other example is an example of a normal conditional in negative form. If you don't change your mind, please let me know. So for the inversion, the if disappears and I need the auxiliary should. So if you don't change becomes should you not change. You see, not the don't is not here because the don't is the auxiliary do plus not. And now in the inverted, I am using the auxiliary should. So should you not change? I cannot put should and do two auxiliaries because that's nothing. You see, I mean, each tense has an auxiliary. Two auxiliaries of different tenses together is always a mistake. Okay? So that is number 1. And now I am going to ask you to send me privately these 2 sentences. Okay? Just the inverted form. Only the inverted form. No, this is not what I want here. Okay? We have, if you heat water, it boils. Remember that the only part that changes is the first part. You have to omit the if, you have to use the should, and remember that if you have a negative, you just use the not. Okay, like in the example, should you not change? Okay, so please send the inverted forms of these 2 privately. Okay, come on. If you have any questions about this, I have just explained, you can also ask me privately. Please send each of them separately so that I can correct more easily. Thank you.